What if I told you that some of Hollywood's biggest stars weren't always seen as the stunning icons they are today? Long before the fame, fortune, and flawless red carpet looks, these actors were mocked, overlooked, and even called ugly by the same industry that now worships them. But something changed. Whether it was confidence, money, surgery, or pure glow-up energy, they turned their so-called flaws into power. Some did it quietly, others made it part of their story. But all of them proved one thing: beauty in Hollywood isn't just about looks, it's about transformation. Here are 10 ugliest black actors who were made beautiful. 10. Tracy Morgan. Before Tracy Morgan became a comedy legend, many people didn't take him seriously. His uneven smile, expressive face, and wild mannerisms made him stand out, but not in the way Hollywood usually celebrated. People often joked about his looks, calling him goofy or strange, but Tracy didn't hide. He turned every comment, every stare, into material. Instead of trying to look handsome, he focused on being unforgettable. When he joined Saturday Night Live, Tracy didn't try to fit the mold of the cool comedian. He was loud, unpredictable, and completely himself. That raw confidence made him shine in a sea of polished faces. What others saw as flaws, he turned into comedy gold. His laugh, his walk, his voice, they all became part of a signature style that nobody could copy. Then came 30 Rock, where Tracy Jordan became a household name. People started to notice something beyond the humor. Underneath the wild jokes was a man with charm, emotion, and surprising vulnerability. His energy was magnetic. He wasn't the traditional handsome guy, but you couldn't take your eyes off him. That's real star power. Life tested him in a brutal way when he survived a deadly car crash in 2014. The recovery changed him, not just physically, but spiritually. He returned with more maturity, grace, and self-respect. His style evolved too: tailored suits, sleek watches, and confidence that filled the room. Tracy went from being the man people laughed at to the man people admired. Today, Tracy Morgan isn't just funny, he's inspiring. He proved that beauty can come from resilience, humor, and owning who you are without apology. He turned pain into purpose, laughter into strength, and flaws into fame. The same face that people once mocked now represents courage, confidence, and charm. That's not just a transformation, it's triumph. 9. Djimon Hounsou. When Djimon Hounsou first arrived in Hollywood, the industry didn't know how to define him. Casting directors often said he looked too African, too intense, or too unusual for leading roles. His deep skin tone, sharp jawline, and piercing eyes didn't fit Hollywood's old idea of beauty. But Djimon never saw himself as less than anyone else. He carried himself like a king long before the world saw it. Before acting, he started as a model. On the runway, he brought something rare: power mixed with grace. He wasn't trying to look pretty. He looked strong, grounded, and proud. That confidence caught the eye of directors, and soon he made his mark in Amistad, where he played a man who refused to be broken. People started noticing his presence, how he could command a scene without saying a word. Then came Gladiator, Blood Diamond, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Each role added another layer to his image. He was no longer seen as different. He was admired for his boldness, his quiet strength, and his unmistakable masculinity. Magazines began to call him one of the most striking men in Hollywood. His bald head and sculpted features became symbols of timeless power. Djimon's beauty came from something deeper than looks. It came from pride in his roots. He showed the world that dark skin, African heritage, and raw emotion are beautiful beyond measure. He turned the word exotic into extraordinary. Every time he walked into a room, he carried generations of strength with him. Today, Djimon Hounsou stands as proof that real beauty has no single standard. It's about self-respect, culture, and the power of presence. He didn't change himself for Hollywood, he made Hollywood change for him. 8. Viola Davis. There was a time when Viola Davis was told she wasn't beautiful enough to be a leading lady. Hollywood had a narrow idea of beauty, and she didn't fit it. Her dark skin, natural hair, and raw expressions were seen as too real for a world built on perfection. But Viola never tried to blend in, she chose to stand out. She made her truth louder than anyone's opinion. When she appeared in doubt, even with only a few scenes, her performance shook audiences. She didn't wear fancy makeup or try to look glamorous. She just told the truth through her eyes, and people felt it. That's when Hollywood began to realize that beauty isn't always polished, it's honest. Her breakthrough came with The Help and How to Get Away with Murder. She showed power, vulnerability, and emotion in a way that no one else could. Every time she cried on screen, it wasn't just acting, it was release. It was courage. She didn't hide her natural face or cover her age lines. She wore them with pride, turning realism into elegance. Over the years, Viola's glow-up has been more than physical. Yes, she learned to own red carpets with bold gowns, radiant skin, and natural curls, but her real transformation came from inside. Her confidence, her truth, and her fearlessness became her beauty. She stopped chasing the Hollywood standard and built her own. Today, Viola Davis isn't just seen as a powerful actress. She's a symbol of grace and authenticity. She showed that beauty doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being proud of every scar, every flaw, every story. She didn't just change how people see her, she changed how people see beauty itself. 7. Danny Glover. When Danny Glover first stepped into acting, no one looked at him and thought, movie star. He didn't have the smooth skin, sharp jawline, or flashy smile that Hollywood loved to cast. He was ordinary, a face you might pass by on the street without a second glance. But that's exactly what made him special. His warmth, his humanity, and his realness made audiences fall in love with him. In Lethal Weapon, Danny wasn't the flashy hero. He was the calm, collected family man, the one who brought heart to the chaos. He didn't try to look younger or tougher. He let his age, his wrinkles, and his voice tell the story. People connected to that. He made normal look noble. Over time, Danny's natural charm began to shine through. His smile, once considered simple, became comforting. His eyes carried kindness, and his voice carried wisdom. As he grew older, those features became even more striking. There's something undeniably beautiful about a man who embraces himself fully without trying to be anyone else. Behind the screen, Danny Glover is known for his activism, humility, and compassion. That adds another layer to his beauty, the kind that doesn't fade with age. It's the beauty of integrity, kindness, and purpose. He never needed a makeover or a stylist to make him shine. His transformation came from the inside out. He went from being overlooked to being respected, from being ordinary to being unforgettable. Today, Danny Glover stands as proof that beauty isn't always about what's on the surface. Sometimes it's the calm presence, the gentle smile, and the quiet strength that makes someone truly beautiful. He didn't chase fame or try to impress anyone. He simply stayed true to who he was, and that's what made him timeless. 6. Morgan Freeman. When Morgan Freeman was young, no one imagined he'd become one of the most respected and admired men in Hollywood. He didn't have the looks that movie studios usually searched for. His rough features, deep lines, and calm demeanor didn't fit the mold of a classic leading man. But that didn't matter because Morgan had something far more powerful than looks. He had presence. In his early days, Morgan worked hard just to be seen. For years, he took small television roles, stage performances, and background parts. It wasn't until later in life that Hollywood finally opened its doors to him. And that's when people began to see his quiet charm. The older he got, the more captivating he became. His voice, deep, rich, and steady, made everything he said sound wise and comforting. By the time he starred in Driving Miss Daisy and The Shawshank Redemption, his appearance no longer mattered. People didn't look at Morgan for glamour, they looked at him for truth. His eyes carried stories, his wrinkles held strength, and his calm smile radiated peace. He turned aging into art. As the years passed, something unexpected happened. The same face once considered too plain or too old became iconic. His silver hair, his freckles, his slow and thoughtful way of speaking all became symbols of dignity. He didn't try to stay young or change himself for fame. Instead, he embraced time, and time rewarded him with timeless beauty. Today, Morgan Freeman's image represents grace, wisdom, and quiet power. He made people realize that beauty isn't always loud or perfect. It can be gentle, grounded, and full of soul. His journey shows that true beauty often grows with age, not fades. He didn't chase beauty, he became it. 5. Cicely Tyson. When Cicely Tyson began her career, the entertainment world wasn't ready for her kind of beauty. Her natural hair, dark complexion, and bold personality stood out in an era when lighter skin and soft features were praised. Many told her she was too different, too strong-looking to be a star. But Cicely refused to change herself to fit the industry's expectations. She started modeling before acting, but even there, she faced rejection for not fitting the ideal image. Still, she carried herself with poise and pride, walking into every room as if she belonged. When she turned to acting, her power could no longer be ignored. In Sounder and the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, she didn't just act, she embodied grace, dignity, and resilience. Her beauty wasn't about softness, it was about strength. The curve of her cheekbones, the fire in her eyes, and the determination in her voice made her unforgettable. Cicely showed the world that a woman could be powerful and beautiful at the same time. She didn't have to be delicate to be admired. As she aged, her elegance only deepened. With every public appearance, she looked more radiant, more confident, more regal. Her style was never about excess, it was about simplicity, class, and authenticity. Even without trying, she lit up every room she entered. Cicely Tyson broke barriers for every black actress who came after her. She made Hollywood face its prejudice and redefine what beauty meant. Her transformation wasn't about makeup or fame, it was about courage. She made the world see that beauty has nothing to do with how you look and everything to do with how you live. Cicely didn't chase approval. She carried her truth with pride, and that made her one of the most beautiful women to ever grace the screen. 4. Samuel L. Jackson. Before Samuel L. Jackson became one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, many people didn't think he looked like a movie star. His sharp features, serious expressions, and fiery energy didn't match the polished image studios like to promote. But instead of changing, he leaned into his uniqueness. He used his voice, his intensity, and his attitude to make himself unforgettable. In the early years of his career, Samuel struggled to find his place. He appeared in small roles, often playing background characters, yet even in those moments, he had a spark, something real that couldn't be hidden. When Pulp Fiction hit theaters, everything changed. With that one role, he became the cool, dangerous, and unpredictable face of Hollywood. His style wasn't soft or charming, it was powerful. His presence filled every scene like electricity. Over time, Samuel's confidence became his signature. The bald head, the piercing eyes, the booming voice, they all became part of his identity. He didn't try to fit into Hollywood's idea of handsome. Instead, he built a new kind of appeal, one based on dominance, swagger, and raw charisma. You couldn't ignore him even if you tried. As the years passed, his sense of style evolved too. Sharp suits, bold glasses, and a fearless attitude made him stand out on every red carpet. His fashion choices reflected his personality, strong, confident, and full of life. He showed that beauty isn't always about softness. Sometimes it's about strength, confidence, and character. Today, Samuel L. Jackson is one of the most admired men in the industry. He proved that confidence can turn any look into greatness. He didn't just become handsome, he became iconic. He turned his personality into power and showed that real beauty comes from knowing exactly who you are and never apologizing for it. 3. Seal. When Seal first appeared in the music world, many people noticed his face before they heard his voice. The scars on his cheeks, caused by lupus, made him stand out, and not always in a kind way. People called him strange, even intimidating. But Seal never hid his face. He wore his scars proudly, as if they were proof of survival. That courage alone made him beautiful. His rise began with the hit Killer and exploded with Kiss from a Rose. His voice was unlike anything else, deep, emotional, and haunting. It carried the kind of pain and passion that couldn't be faked. The world started to realize that his looks didn't define him, his soul did. Every time he performed, his presence filled the stage with quiet confidence. As his fame grew, so did his influence. When he married supermodel Heidi Klum, the world began to see him differently. Suddenly, the same man who was once called unattractive became admired for his charm, class, and confidence. His fashion evolved into timeless elegance, tailored suits, simple jewelry, and a calm confidence that said everything without words. Seal's transformation wasn't about changing his appearance, it was about changing how the world saw him. He showed that scars can be symbols of survival, not shame. He made people rethink what it means to be beautiful. With time, Seal became more than a singer. He became a symbol of emotional strength and individuality. He never needed to hide or fix anything. He only needed to embrace who he was. That's what made his beauty shine the brightest. Today, Seal's face tells a story of resilience, love, and authenticity. His scars didn't ruin him, they made him unforgettable. He turned what others saw as flaws into the very thing that set him apart. And in doing so, he became one of the most strikingly beautiful men the world has ever known. 2. Forest Whitaker. When Forest Whitaker first appeared on screen, people didn't know what to make of him. His lazy eye, quiet voice, and calm presence were nothing like the traditional image of a Hollywood leading man. Some even said he didn't have the face for fame. But Forrest had something far deeper than looks. He had depth, grace, and a presence that spoke louder than perfection ever could. His journey wasn't easy. He started out in small roles, but every time he appeared, he brought a quiet intensity that drew people in. He didn't chase charm. He made honesty his strength. Then came his powerful role in The Last King of Scotland, where he played a terrifying yet complex dictator. That performance earned him an Oscar, but more importantly, it earned him respect. People started to see his unique features not as flaws, but as part of what made him unforgettable. Over the years, Forest Whitaker's appearance became his signature. His eye, his calm smile, and his thoughtful way of speaking all worked together to create something rare, authentic beauty. He wasn't pretending to be perfect, he was real. That truth connected with audiences everywhere. Off-screen, Forrest carried himself with quiet dignity. His style was simple but elegant: dark suits, soft tones, and a humble presence that radiated peace. The more people saw him, the more they realized that beauty doesn't always shout, it whispers. Today, Forest Whitaker stands as proof that true beauty can't be measured by symmetry or glamour. It's about the soul that shines through the surface. He didn't fix his eye or try to fit in. He made the world appreciate difference. What once made him stand out awkwardly became the reason he stands tall proudly. Forrest didn't chase beauty. He revealed it through compassion, character, and calm strength. 1. Whoopi Goldberg. Long before Whoopi Goldberg became a Hollywood icon, she was told she'd never make it. Casting agents said her face wasn't right for film, her hair too wild, her looks too plain. In an industry obsessed with beauty, Whoopi was everything they said didn't sell. But that didn't stop her. She had a spark, a wit, and a confidence that no mirror could measure. When The Color Purple hit theaters, everything changed. Her raw emotion and magnetic presence made people see her differently. She wasn't trying to look pretty, she was telling the truth, and truth has its own kind of beauty. Audiences connected with her authenticity. She wasn't fake, and she didn't hide behind makeup or glam. She was real, and that made her shine brighter than anyone else. As her career grew with Ghost and Sister Act, her confidence became her glow. The same features that once mocked now looked powerful and expressive. Her smile carried joy, her eyes carried wisdom, and her humor made her glow from the inside out. She didn't need perfection to be beautiful, she needed self-acceptance. Whoopi also used her voice off-screen, becoming an advocate, comedian, and talk show host who never shied away from speaking her truth. Over time, her unique look became iconic. The dreadlocks, the glasses, the effortless style, all became part of her charm. She proved that individuality is far more attractive than imitation. Today, Whoopi Goldberg isn't remembered for fitting in. She's celebrated for standing out. She made the world fall in love with authenticity, confidence, and character. What people once called ugly became a symbol of freedom. Whoopi didn't become beautiful by changing who she was. She became beautiful by showing the world that she was enough all along. So, what do all these incredible transformations have in common? They weren't about plastic surgery, money, or makeup. They were about confidence, about turning pain, rejection, and ridicule into something powerful. Each of these stars was once labeled ugly, yet they rose to become icons of beauty, strength, and authenticity. So, maybe the real question is, how many times have you let someone else's opinion decide your worth? If their stories moved, you don't just scroll away. Hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs a reminder that beauty is more than skin deep, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories that'll change how you see fame, power, and self-worth.
You're walking back and forth here, you're shaking your head, you're laughing. What's the problem? Be all right, fellas.
I showed him how God wanted him to have a swell time while he was alive.
What if I told you that some of the brightest stars in Black Hollywood were taken not by accidents or scandals, but by devastating diseases that silently destroyed their bodies? These actors lit up the screen with unforgettable performances, but behind the glamour, many were fighting battles they never fully revealed to the world. From colon cancer that claimed rising legends to hidden illnesses that robbed us of icons too soon, their stories are heartbreaking reminders that even the strongest faces can hide the deepest pain. Today, we're uncovering the tragedies of 15 Black actors who died from horrible diseases. 15. Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman's passing in 2020 left the entire world stunned. At the height of his career, celebrated as King T'Challa in Black Panther, no one imagined he was silently fighting stage 3 colon cancer. For 4 long years, he endured surgeries and countless treatments, all while delivering some of his most powerful performances in Marshall, Da 5 Bloods, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. He chose privacy over public sympathy, showing unmatched strength and professionalism. Fans were heartbroken to learn that while he portrayed a superhero on screen, he was waging his most difficult battle in real life. His death at only 43 years old brought attention to the growing concern of colon cancer among young Black men. Boseman's story is not just about talent, but about perseverance in the face of unimaginable pain. His fight with this horrible disease became his final, silent role, leaving behind a legacy of resilience and dignity. 14. Natalie Desselle Reid.
No, but we're gonna need more than manners, because right here it says that the rich and famous people hang out at...
Natalie Desselle Reid lit up the screen with her comedic brilliance in Baps Asterisk, her charm in Eve, and her heartwarming performance alongside Brandy in Cinderella. But in 2020, her life was cut short by colon cancer at just 53 years old. Known for her vibrant smile and warm presence, she brought joy to audiences. But behind the scenes, she faced an unforgiving disease that progressed rapidly. Her diagnosis came only months before her passing, shocking fans and colleagues alike. Unlike many who receive years of treatment, Natalie's time was heartbreakingly brief. Yet in her final months, she remained surrounded by love from family and friends, who celebrated her spirit and the happiness she brought to so many. Her battle with colon cancer echoed the same silent struggle faced by countless others, reminding the world how devastating and swift this illness can be. Natalie's loss was not just of an actress, but of a soul who embodied positivity and light, taken far too soon by a cruel disease. 13. Michael Clarke Duncan. Michael Clarke Duncan's towering frame and gentle soul made him unforgettable on screen, especially in The Green Mile, where he earned an Oscar nomination for his heart-wrenching role. Behind the strength he often portrayed, Duncan faced a sudden and tragic health crisis. In July 2012, he suffered a massive heart attack that left him hospitalized. Though he initially survived, his health continued to decline, and just 2 months later, he passed away at only 54 years old. The world lost not just a gifted actor, but a man who radiated kindness and humility. His death highlighted the silent dangers of heart disease, especially within the Black community, where it remains one of the leading causes of death. Michael's loss was particularly painful because he had been engaged to reality star Omarosa, with wedding plans ahead. His story shows how even those who appear larger than life can be struck down by the cruel grasp of a disease that attacks without mercy. 12. Bernie Mac.
I don't want to take over. I don't even want to change a scam.
Bernie Mac was one of comedy's brightest lights, a man whose sharp wit and larger-than-life personality made millions laugh. From his legendary stand-up routines to The Bernie Mac Show and films like Ocean's 11, he had built an empire of laughter. Yet, behind the jokes, Bernie fought a serious health battle. He was diagnosed with sarcoidosis, a rare inflammatory disease that attacks the lungs and other organs. For years, he managed the condition quietly, but in 2008, complications from pneumonia proved fatal. He was just 50 years old when the world lost him. His death shocked fans who had no idea how much he had endured behind closed doors. Sarcoidosis is a disease not often spoken about, but Bernie's passing brought attention to its devastating effects. His humor, warmth, and unapologetic honesty live on, but his life was taken far too early by an illness that stripped the world of a man whose very presence was medicine for the soul. 11. Gregory Hines.
You're walking back and forth here, you're shaking your head, you're laughing. What's the problem?
Gregory Hines was more than just an actor. He was a master of rhythm, a tap-dancing legend who could bring life to any stage. In films like White Nights and Running Scared, he showcased not only his acting, but also his unmatched artistry in dance. Audiences admired his effortless charm, but behind the scenes, Gregory was quietly battling liver cancer. He kept his illness private, sharing little even with close friends, until it became clear that the disease was advancing. In 2003, at only 57 years old, he lost his fight. The entertainment world mourned a man whose feet could speak louder than words, a performer who inspired generations to embrace dance and creativity. His death was a sobering reminder of how cancer can silently spread, robbing the world of brilliance far too soon. Gregory's story is one of grace. He performed until his body could no longer allow it, leaving behind a legacy that still echoes with every tap. 10. Diahann Carroll.
Let's see. Yes, we have a beautiful junior.
Diahann Carroll was a pioneer, breaking barriers as the first black woman to star in her own television series, Julia, back in the 1960s. She was elegance personified, with a career that spanned television, film, and stage, earning a Tony Award and countless accolades. Yet, behind her beauty and poise, Carroll endured a long and painful battle with breast cancer. Diagnosed in the 1990s, she fought courageously for years, using her platform to raise awareness and inspire women to get tested early. Even while undergoing treatment, she never stopped working, appearing in shows like Grey's Anatomy and films that reminded audiences of her power. In 2019, at the age of 84, she passed away, leaving behind not only a trailblazing career, but also a message of resilience. Her fight with breast cancer was a testament to her strength, and her story continues to inspire women around the world to face this horrible disease with courage. 9. Cicely Tyson.
Got the strength God gave us women to survive.
Cicely Tyson was a force of nature, an actress who redefined what it meant to be a black woman in Hollywood. From Sounder to the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman and countless other powerful roles, she carried dignity and strength into every performance. Tyson lived a long life, but even legends are not immune to the toll of disease and aging. In 2021, at 96 years old, she passed away due to complications from age-related illness. While her death was not sudden like many others, it still left an enormous void in the world of film and television. She had survived through decades of an industry that often tried to silence her, yet her voice remained strong until her very last days. Cicely's passing was a reminder that time itself can be the cruelest disease, wearing away even the strongest among us. Her story was not only about the illness that claimed her life, but about the extraordinary resilience she showed in living nearly a century with grace and purpose. 8. Sherman Hemsley.
I showed him how God wanted him to have a swell time while he was alive.
Sherman Hemsley made history as George Jefferson, the loud, ambitious character who gave the Jeffersons its spark and cultural impact. His comedic brilliance made him a household name, but behind the laughter, Sherman faced a private and devastating struggle. In 2012, he passed away at 74 years old from lung cancer. The disease had spread aggressively, robbing him of his health before many fans even knew he was sick. Lung cancer is one of the deadliest illnesses, often going undetected until it's too late, and Sherman's case was no different. His death reminded the world of the harsh reality of smoking-related illnesses and the silent destruction cancer can cause. Even though his life ended in tragedy, his work lives on in reruns and cultural memory. Sherman Hemsley gave joy to millions, but his departure showed how a horrible disease can silence even the brightest laughter. 7. Kevin Peter Hall. Kevin Peter Hall may not have been a household name, but his work left a mark on film history. Standing at over 7 feet tall, he brought unforgettable characters to life, most famously the Predator in the iconic sci-fi series. Beneath the mask and costume, Kevin was a gentle soul who loved acting and connecting with fans. But his life took a tragic turn when he needed a blood transfusion following an accident. The blood he received was unknowingly contaminated, and he contracted HIV. In the early 90s, treatment options were limited, and Kevin developed AIDS-related pneumonia. In 1991, at only 35 years old, he passed away. His death was heartbreaking, not just because of his youth, but because it came from circumstances beyond his control. Kevin's story reflects how devastating and cruel diseases like AIDS were during that era, cutting short the lives of countless talented people before medicine could catch up. 6. Roxy Roker.
A telegram? But that's such a cold way to end a marriage.
Roxy Roker, mother of musician Lenny Kravitz and star of The Jeffersons, was known for breaking barriers in television. Her role as Helen Willis made history as one half of the first interracial couple regularly shown on primetime TV. She carried herself with grace both on and off screen, admired for her courage and talent. But behind the fame, Roxy was fighting a private war against breast cancer. In 1995, at only 66 years old, the disease claimed her life. Breast cancer had already taken the lives of countless women, and Roxy's passing was another painful reminder of how widespread and unforgiving it can be. Her son Lenny has often spoken about the impact of her death, describing how it shaped his life and career. Roxy's loss was not just personal, it was cultural, as the world said goodbye to a woman who had broken ground and inspired others, only to be taken too soon by a horrible disease. 5. Thalmus Rasulala.
Heat can scramble your brains, you know.
Pretend it's a sauna.
Thalmus Rasulala was a familiar face during the golden age of blaxploitation films and television. He starred in classics like Blackula and appeared in hit shows such as The Jeffersons and Roots, where his commanding presence and smooth delivery made him unforgettable. His career was steady, and audiences came to rely on him as a strong figure who brought depth to every role. But away from the cameras, Thalmus faced a battle that ended suddenly. In 1991, at just 51 years old, he died from a massive heart attack. Heart disease had already claimed the lives of many in the black community, and his passing was yet another tragic example of its impact. For fans, it was shocking because he seemed healthy and full of energy, always ready to work. His death cut short a career that still had so much potential. Thalmus's story stands as a reminder of how heart disease, silent and swift, remains one of the most dangerous killers. 4. Clarence Williams III.
Here's your God.
Clarence Williams III was a chameleon on screen, best remembered for his breakout role in The Mod Squad and later for his powerful work in films like Purple Rain and Sugar Hill. He had a unique ability to blend intensity with vulnerability, which made every character he played unforgettable. But even as fans celebrated his artistry, Clarence was fighting a personal battle. In 2021, he lost his life to colon cancer at 71 years old. The disease had progressed aggressively, taking him before many even knew he was sick. Colon cancer has been especially devastating among black actors, claiming several lives on this very list. Clarence's death left behind a sense of unfinished business, as though his artistry had more stories left to tell. He was one of those rare talents whose presence alone could shift the energy of a scene, yet this horrible disease ended his journey too soon. His passing was a painful blow to film and television alike. 3. Robert Guillaume.
It's like you're a big bird with radar, and I'm tired of getting hit.
Robert Guillaume was a commanding figure in television, best known for his Emmy-winning role as Benson Dubois on Soap and its spin-off, Benson. His sharp wit, strong presence, and ability to bring depth to comedy made him a fan favorite for decades. Beyond television, he voiced Rafiki in Disney's The Lion King, a role that cemented his voice in popular culture forever. But behind the scenes, Robert fought a long and draining battle with prostate cancer. Diagnosed later in life, he continued to work while undergoing treatment, never letting the disease define him. In 2017, at the age of 89, he passed away from complications. His death was a sobering reminder of how prostate cancer often develops silently, claiming lives before symptoms become obvious. Robert left behind a trail of groundbreaking roles and proved that black actors could carry both comedic and dramatic weight in Hollywood, even while quietly facing a horrible disease. 2. Esther Rolle.
Hope the white folks like that and not spec a rope around your neck.
Esther Rolle was the heart of Good Times, playing Florida Evans with warmth, dignity, and quiet strength. She became a cultural symbol, representing resilience and family values on television at a time when black households were rarely shown with such depth. But while fans adored her strength on screen, Rolle struggled with serious health issues in her later years. She suffered from diabetes, a disease that disproportionately affects the black community. In 1998, complications from the illness led to her passing at 78 years old. Her death brought attention to the long-term impact of diabetes and the way it slowly erodes health over time. Esther's loss was deeply felt, not only because of her acting but because she was a role model to millions. She showed audiences that mothers, wives, and women of faith could be powerful forces. Her death was yet another case of a cruel disease, robbing the world of a beloved icon. 1. James Avery.
You know, Will was doing just fine until you showed up.
James Avery was affectionately known as Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. His commanding yet loving portrayal of Philip Banks made him one of television's most beloved father figures. He was more than just a sitcom character. He was a symbol of discipline, wisdom, and compassion, leaving a lasting impact on viewers of all ages. But behind the laughter and family lessons, Avery faced serious health struggles. In 2013, he underwent open-heart surgery, a risky procedure meant to improve his condition. Sadly, complications followed, and at the age of 68, he passed away. His death stunned fans who saw him as a pillar of strength both on and off screen. Heart disease, once again, had claimed another life, this time taking a man who represented stability and care for an entire generation. James Avery's passing was a heartbreaking reminder that even those who feel like family to us can be taken away too soon by a horrible disease. These 15 black actors gave the world unforgettable performances, but their lives were cut short by horrible diseases that showed no mercy. Which of these stories moved you the most, and whose legacy do you think deserves to be remembered more today? If you found this video powerful, don't just scroll away, hit that like button, share it with others, and subscribe for more untold stories of Hollywood's brightest stars. Your support keeps these voices alive and makes sure their contributions are never forgotten. The show You Think You Know, A Different World, started as a simple idea and almost failed, but what most fans never realized is how much was happening behind the scenes. It was meant to be a small spin-off, but from day one, it was full of creative fights, personal struggles, and bold changes. To grasp what made this show so special and what struggles shaped it, we must rewind to its origins. The Cosby Show was the biggest television hit of its time, setting the stage for a spin-off centered on Denise Huxtable, the second oldest daughter in the Huxtable family, as she left home to attend college at the fictional Hillman College, an HBCU, historically black college and university. But the first idea for the spin-off was actually very different. Early plans imagined a show about a white student experiencing life at a historically black college, an idea that evolved significantly, eventually settling on focusing on Denise and including a white roommate to maintain the cultural contrast. This roommate role was initially given to Marisa Tomei before the concept shifted again. The production started off in chaos. 4 pilot episodes and several scenes were scrapped due to poor quality, and the show nearly didn't premiere. The network brought in choreographer and actress Debbie Allen to revamp the series, who would completely turn its fortunes around. Despite the rocky start, the launch in 1987 placed the show in a primetime slot between The Cosby Show and Cheers, instantly attracting millions of viewers, but good ratings didn't equate to smooth sailing. Critics initially panned the show as dull and unrealistic, with the first season scoring just 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. The depiction of college life at Hillman was accused of being superficial. Students weren't shown attending classes or genuinely engaging in academic life, which made the setting feel inauthentic. Still, The audience was captivated. Trouble behind the scenes soon grew over the main star, Lisa Bonet, who played Denise Huxtable, when she and her husband, Lenny Kravitz, announced her real-life pregnancy after season 1. Producer Debbie Allen wanted to incorporate this into the storyline to create a powerful narrative about a pregnant college student. Bill Cosby disagreed strongly, refusing to allow Denise to be pregnant on the show because it clashed with the wholesome image of the Huxtable family he wanted to maintain. The result was Lisa Bonet's character being written out of the series entirely, a decision that cast a shadow over the production. The atmosphere behind the scenes became tense and unpleasant, especially for Bonet. Fellow cast member Jasmine Guy later revealed that producers often treated Lisa disrespectfully in front of the live studio audience and refused to moderate their behavior. Guy herself was so troubled by this treatment that she attempted to quit in protest but stayed after discussing her concerns with producers. Debbie Allen stepped in with a bold new vision for the show. She overhauled everything to bring real authenticity to the depiction of HBCU life. Allen was a Howard University alumna and used her own experiences to guide the rewrite of scripts, set design, and character development. The campus hangout spot, The Pit, was redesigned to look like a real college restaurant, with visible kitchen staff and more natural interactions. Under Allen's leadership, the cast also grew closer, and the show shifted from focusing on Denise to becoming a true ensemble series. Her focus on group dynamics brought characters like Whitley Gilbert, Jasmine Guy, and Dwayne Wayne, Kadeem Hardison, to center stage, eventually making their on-screen romance one of the most beloved relationships in TV history. The writing team, led by Allen, took unprecedented steps to ensure realism. They took yearly field trips to Atlanta to visit actual HBCUs such as Spelman and Morehouse College, conducting interviews with students and faculty, which inspired many storylines. Allen empowered the actors by inviting them to submit story ideas, some of which made it to episodes, making the cast feel truly invested. With Debbie Allen at the helm, a different world transformed into a show unafraid to tackle serious social issues. It addressed racism, classism, domestic violence, date rape, apartheid, HIV, AIDS, and colorism, at a time when such topics were rarely covered on sitcoms. This blend of humor, romance, and hard-hitting themes gave the show depth and relevance, forging a cultural dialogue. Meanwhile, unseen to fans, the cast members formed close bonds and off-screen relationships that sometimes mirrored their on-screen chemistry. The romance between Kadeem Hardison, Dwayne, and Cree Summer, Freddie, was real and lasted several years during the show's height. They bonded over shared interests like motorcycles and comics before their relationship blossomed into love. Prior to dating Cree, Hardison was secretly smitten with Jasmine Guy, but the age difference and timing complicated things. Similarly, Daryl M., Belle Ron Johnson, and Tempest Bledsoe, Vanessa from The Cosby Show, developed a long-lasting relationship off-screen, revealing a softer side to the cast's dynamics. One of the show's most iconic moments came with the episode where Dwayne crashes Whitley's wedding to stop her from marrying another man. Both Hardison and Guy originally disliked the script, fearing it was unrealistic and damaging to their characters. During filming, Hardison froze on camera but improvised an emotional plea that turned the scene into a legendary TV moment, beloved by fans. The show's bravery often extended beyond storylines to battles with network executives and advertisers. An episode tackling the HIV/AIDS crisis encountered fierce opposition from sponsors who threatened to pull funding. Debbie Allen enlisted Whoopi Goldberg to guest star, lending star power that helped the episode air and achieve the highest ratings in the show's history. The cast's post-show lives also reveal hidden struggles and successes. Sinbad, Walter Oakes, left to become a stand-up comedy star but suffered a major stroke in 2020, leading to a painful recovery journey. Daryl M. Bell faced a difficult public family lawsuit over his father's estate while still acting. Dawn Lewis, who co-wrote the show's theme, spoke candidly about barriers faced by black actresses after her time on screen. Cree Summer quietly became one of the most successful voice actresses ever, lending her voice to over 100 characters in beloved shows such as Rugrats and Tiny Toon Adventures. Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison continued to work steadily in TV and film, gaining respect as actors and activists. After 6 seasons, A Different World left a lasting imprint on television and culture. It played a major role in increasing interest and enrollment in real HBCUs across the nation by showcasing Black college life with dignity and complexity. The series inspired a devoted fanbase that keeps its legacy alive decades later. In 2025, the legacy continues with a new sequel series beginning production in Atlanta. This fresh take will explore a new generation of students at Hillman College, centering on the youngest daughter of Dwayne Wayne and Whitley Gilbert. Cast members Kadeem Hardison and Jasmine Guy are returning to headline the reboot, bridging past and present. Through off-screen struggles, creative clashes, and revolutionary storytelling, A Different World rose from near failure to become a groundbreaking classic. The real story behind the show is one of resilience, authenticity, and fearless commitment to telling stories that mattered. Fans who thought they knew Hillman College soon learned that behind the laughter was a deep and unbreakable heart. From the inception of A Different World, the ambition was clear to showcase life at a historically Black college with real depth and authenticity. But behind that ambition were many battles to bring the vision to life. The original pilot was completely different from what fans eventually saw. Early in development, the show was planned to star Denise Huxtable, but also introduce a white roommate to explore cultural contrasts experienced at HBCUs. The role was initially slated for future star Marisa Tomei, but as the creative direction shifted, so did casting choices and storylines. The chaotic start involved scrapping 4 pilot episodes and multiple rewrites, which required a last-minute overhaul. When the show premiered in September 1987, it was slotted between television titans The Cosby Show and Cheers, a prime placement that helped it win a large audience despite harsh initial reviews. Early critical reception was brutal, with many accusing the show of lacking realism. Viewers questioned why college students were rarely shown attending classes or engaging in serious academic work. Critics labeled the series as fluffy and superficial, assigning it a mere 11% rating on Rotten Tomatoes in its first season. But the audience connected with the characters and their relationships, keeping the show alive. Behind the scenes, tensions simmered over creative control and cast treatment. The departure of Lisa Bonet, who played Denise, marked a turning point. After announcing her real-life pregnancy, a storyline incorporating it was vetoed by Bill Cosby to protect the character's pure image, leading to Bonet's exit. The treatment she endured from producers was later described as disrespectful and hostile by fellow cast members. Debbie Allen's arrival signaled a new era. A Howard University graduate herself, Allen was determined to infuse the show with genuine HBCU culture and address issues often avoided by network television. She revamped sets, introduced realistic wardrobe styles, and incorporated morning workouts to bring energy and discipline. The series shifted focus to an ensemble cast, especially highlighting characters Whitley Gilbert, Jasmine Guy, and Dwayne Wayne, Kadeem Hardison. Their slow-building romance became a fan favorite and one of TV's iconic couples. Allen also took the writers on field trips to actual HBCUs, weaving real student experiences into episodes, making the show more authentic. A Different World became a trailblazer for socially conscious television. It bravely tackled topics such as racism, colorism, sexual assault, date rape, apartheid, and the AIDS epidemic. In 1991, the show faced sponsor backlash over an HIV/AIDS episode, but persevered by bringing in Whoopi Goldberg to guest star, ensuring the message reached a wide audience. Off-screen romances mirrored the show's passion. The real-life relationship between Kadeem Hardison and Cree Summer lasted several years and started from a genuine friendship rooted in shared hobbies. Other cast members also found love and friendship through the series, showcasing a bond that transcended the screen. One of the show's most memorable scenes, Dwayne interrupting Whitley's wedding, was controversial among the actors who felt it was unrealistic. However, the emotional improvisation during filming turned it into a defining TV moment. The cast went through personal struggles as well. Sinbad suffered a debilitating stroke in 2020, but continues to recover with family support. Daryl M. Bell faced legal challenges involving his family estate during the show's run, while Dawn Lewis spoke openly about industry obstacles faced by Black actresses. Voice actress Cree Summer built a legendary career beyond the show, becoming a prolific presence in animated series. Meanwhile, Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison sustained long, varied acting careers, branching into directing and activism. A Different World's influence is undeniable. It inspired increased enrollment at HBCUs and broadened representation on television. Fans continue celebrating its legacy through reunions and a 2025 sequel series centered on the next generation at Hillman College, keeping the spirit alive. If you enjoyed diving into the untold stories of A Different World, what moment from the show or its behind-the-scenes history surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your memories and reactions. And if you want more deep dives into the hidden histories of your favorite shows, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you never miss the next story.